welcome to another interesting episode of Youth Hub. Of course, you know I remain your guest, Hosanna Okrafo, and joining me on today's episode where we will be talking, discussing, taking time to see how social media, is it more of an empowerment? Is it pressure to the young people, to the youth of the society? And joining me is the MD of Global Abalux, I think, yes, Global Abalux, and he is also a real estate consultant. Abba Ignatius, welcome to the program today. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good, as you can see.
Right. You're always looking good.
Right. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I hope you would not have issues navigating your way down.
Not really. It's a straightforward location. My boat driver was able to locate here.
Straightforward location to Youth Hub. I hope you heard that. Welcome to Youth Hub. And Youth Hub, we have lots of topics that we talk about every day to help the youth. The aim is to help the youth to bring out those who are not able to put themselves together, those who need to hear people speak to them, and all of that. You understand? And today on Youth Hub, we want to be talking about social media. I know that you're into real estate and you also have a niche for yourself. You're an entrepreneur. I really want to know: is social media more of a pressure, or is it in any way helping the youth to be empowered?
All right. Thank you very much for that question. It's a very important question. And in this current generation that we are, social media has come to stay, and there is nothing we can do about that. But the best thing we can do for ourselves is to find a way to navigate through all this and use social media for our better interests. You understand? So basically, social media is a tool, all right? And like every tool, you can use it for good or for bad.
For bad, yeah.
It can be useful, it can also be harmful, all right? So it all depends on how you use social media. So I would say it goes both ways. There are pros and there are cons of social media. And sometimes if you look at it very well, the good of social media is actually more than the bad, all right? But at the end of the day, it depends on how you utilize the tool. It can be harmful, it can also be beneficial, depending on how you look at it.
Okay, for me, I take the stand that it's more harmful, and I really want to know, in what ways has social media empowered young people to take control of their narratives and advocate for causes they believe in?
All right, thank you very much. You and I, we are Nigerians, right?
Yes, we are. And Nigeria for life.
Of course. All right, I grew up basically in the late 90s and early 2000s. I was a very young child in primary and secondary school at the time. And there was nothing like social media, all right?
Then,
there was no phone, actually. I grew up in a time when there was no mobile phone.
Really?
So mobile phone came to Nigeria, I think, around 2003, 2002, 2003, or 2004, and most people couldn't afford it. All right, so
I even heard then a SIM was even 50,000. You can imagine that.
All right, so most people couldn't afford a mobile phone. I remember those days that we have to go to a phone booth to make calls, and you see this tall antenna that will be standing. You might not be privy to that. All right. So you see these tall antennas that will be standing there that you use to, communicate to other states and the likes. You understand? But in this current region, and in those days, the access to information is very, very limited. They are very limited. So you have to go to a library, you have to go to a school, you have to ask somebody that knows for anything. If you are given an assignment from school, you come home, if you can't find it in the books, then you have to go to the library. You look for a library, you go to the library. If you don't even have access to library, because some schools don't even have access to library, they don't have good libraries. So you have to talk to senior persons, like those ones that are in school, in higher schools, and they will help you.
To help you solve your further maths and all that.
All those, you understand. But today, with the advent of mobile phone, internet, and social media, anybody at the click of a button, you can have access to any information that you want. So right here, if you want to learn how to build a rocket ship now, I think there are vital information that you can get from the internet. It might not give you everything, but there is nothing you want to do today, there's nothing you want to learn today that you don't have access to it on the internet. All right, and that includes social media, places like YouTube, You understand? You have so much free information, so much free educational content on YouTube that you can use to learn anything. Anything at all, I mean anything. You want to learn how to play an instrument today, give yourself a couple of months. If you follow consistently what you are saying on YouTube, you will be able to play. You understand? So I think social media is a very good tool. All right, there is Facebook, there are other to the youth. You understand?
Okay, fine. I understand that there's this pressure also on internet when as a young person you go and see what your mates are doing on the internet. For the other apps that showcase pictures and lifestyle, people start to, you know, feel less of themselves. So there's a constant pressure to present a curated, so to say, you know, social media is a facade to present a curated perfect vision of one's life on social media contribute to mental health challenges like depression, anxiety, or imposter syndrome to the youth?
Of course, I would say it does in a lot of ways. And to add to the previous question that you asked, how has it helped the youth to take control of their
and how can they manage this?
Yeah. So in Nigeria, you remember in 2020 during the EndSARS campaign, it's a very popular event that everybody around the world were privy to. All right, so it was through social media that young people were able to, you know, bring the spotlight on the brutality that the Nigerian police has inflicted on the young people. Like in Nigeria, basically, you can't be a young man and you are driving a good car. You must be a criminal. You understand? So, and these agencies were taking advantage of people and were extorting money from people, killing innocent Nigerians. So social media was the avenue that young Nigerians could have their voices heard. All right, and we all know how it ended at the end of the day. But then the government listened and the world shook and noticed that Nigeria has such issues. All right, so that's a way that social media has helped the Nigerian youth. Okay, so to the next question where you said the facade and the lifestyle you see on social media. All right, it's important that we all note that social media is like a highlight reel of everybody's lives most times. All right, when you go to Facebook, you go to Instagram, you go to TikTok and other places, you see people posting very nice pictures of themselves. Sometimes you even see people posting things that they are not really. All right,
yes,
a lot of times you see people in private jets on Instagram and you'll be thinking that this person
those are the things
this person don't blow. But if you really go and dig in, you will see that you see that there are studios that have been designed in form of private jets that you have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there are studios that have been designed where you can shoot pictures and you look as if you are sitting in a private jet. So if you are somebody who doesn't have a good a high self-esteem, or you don't have a good self-image of yourself, you'll be comparing yourself with others. All right, you now see your friend, maybe someone you finish school together, sitting in the private jet,
and you're like,
this guy don't do that. I've not even started.
I'm behind. What is going on?
50K job.
And then you remember your village people. I start kabashing.
You understand?
That after my life.
So you put yourself under unnecessary pressure. So we are all guilty of this. Most times when you post, before you post your pictures on Instagram, I know you are guilty of this too.
What?
Before you post your pictures on Instagram, you take a couple of pictures and then you select the best one to post. Don't you do that?
Well, I do look at it because, of course, why not?
All right, so most people do this, and we are all guilty of this. I do it too. You take a lot of pictures and then you take the best one, or you do a video, then you cut out the bad side and then you post the good side.
I'll put everything there. See me as I am, John.
All right, so as a result of that, young people who don't have a great self-image of themselves, who don't have who are not trained to have great self-esteem, all right, they will fall into the trap of trying to be like everybody, trying to compare themselves with everybody, and that brings depression, anxiety, and sometimes panic attack on people because you'll be thinking that you've been left behind.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, of course. So it's important that you know that what you see on social media most of the time is not the whole story of people's lives. We all have our bad days, we all have our good days. Most times people don't post their bad days, only the highlights, you understand? And as you're comparing yourself with everybody, because the fact that you see these things online, maybe you have a couple of friends, let's say 1,000 friends on social media, okay? And out of the 1,000 friends, we have 365 days in a year. At least maybe a couple of them will have birthdays at different days within the year. So like currently, if there's no day I go to Facebook, I don't go to Facebook every day though, but there's no day I go to Facebook that I will not get a notification of somebody celebrating a birthday or an anniversary or something.
Yes,
all right, so, and as you are seeing this birthday, you now feel as if you are left out. But your birthday is only once in a year. Even others, all those people you are seeing, their birthdays are also once in a year. But because you have a lot of people that you are looking at, you feel every day, somebody is always celebrating something.
Yes.
And maybe for the whole month, you have not celebrated anything.
So
you now feel like, you understand?
Taking yourself down, thinking what's going on, am I not doing enough?
Exactly.
Yeah, so talking about this now, do you think the influencers and trends, do they create unrealistic standards that people feel pressure to meet up to?
Of course it does. Of course it does. And that's why it is important that you know yourself, all right? Know yourself first, understand yourself, and you have to have a set of goals for your life, and you have to have also a philosophy for your own life. All right, so
a vision board. What you think you are. What you want.
You need to know who you really are and what you want to achieve. As a result of that, you selectively pick the kind of people you follow online. All right, because if you are following the trend just like that, it can lead you to a rabbit hole where you just lose yourself and you don't even know who you are anymore. Because these algorithms are designed to keep you engaged, you understand? And once you start using them, the algorithm knows what you like.
Yes, so because that's the things you like, you click on.
Yes, for example, now if you download TikTok today and you go to TikTok for the first time, they will ask you what kind of things you like. You pick a couple of industry, a couple of trends and stuff that you want to see. And then when you finish with that and you finish the setup, they'll throw a video at you. First video ever you watch on TikTok, if you download the app newly, they'll throw a video at you and they will look for your reaction to that video. If you swipe immediately, they know you don't like this kind of thing. If you swipe immediately, they know you don't like this kind of thing. Then maybe the next 3 or 4 videos, you now see something that you start smiling. As you are smiling, you've forgotten that you're spending time. Probably you use it you watch that particular video for like 5 seconds.
So we exactly do take note of how the amount of time you spend on a particular post.
Yeah.
So that creates
and the reaction that you give to it. If you swipe immediately on anything,
you don't like it.
You don't like it.
But
if you watch something and you watch it to the end, and then sometimes you have to even replay. If you let it play,
even like it or something,
like it or share. The algorithm knows that you like this kind of thing. You understand?
Wow.
So you have to be specific. You understand? You have to decide the kind of things you want to see. So you react to those things, follow the kind of people that motivate you, people that you want to be like.
Yes.
All right, if you are a journalist now, follow people that are doing well in the journalism space, and then you follow them, people that will mentor you, help you get better. You understand? But if you start following trends or you know those things that just trend,
that just sway you out of the way and just
so at the
mess up with your mental health and yourself.
So as a result of that, you will be comparing yourself to too many people, and then you lose yourself.
And you know the crazy thing, these people might not even know you. They don't even know you exist.
They don't even care. All they want is your attention.
Yeah.
And money follows attention, they say. So content creators are making money from your attention. And at the end of the day, these social media algorithms, they are so addictive.
Right.
Yeah, there was a time
how are they addictive?
In the sense that the people that design these things, they have doctors, they have psychologists, they have, aside the engineers and the people that code, developers, they have medical people, they have they have psychologists and medical people that understand how the brain works. You know, so there's something called dopamine. All right.
Yeah, dopamine, which is the happy hormone.
The happy hormone that gives you that gets to come when you see something that you like gratification of a kind. You understand? So they continue to trigger these things in you, and after a while you get addicted to certain. There was a time I had to delete TikTok from my phone because it wastes my time. Maybe you had something in mind, you wanted to go and check on TikTok. Before you type it, they'll throw a video at you.
And before you know, you're carried away.
You've forgotten what
just be looking at that
to do. You'll be swiping and 2 hours has passed and you've not done anything. You understand? So
which means somehow it can also mar you, because social media can either make you or mar you. Yeah. Which brings me to my last question to you quickly before we wrap up. So can social media truly be considered a platform for empowerment when it often fosters comparison and competition?
Of course, like I said from the beginning, it's a tool, and it all depends on how you use it. All right. So if you want to use it as a weapon for fighting for good cause and justice and all, it's good. If you want to be a content creator, giving value, like for example, I'm in the real estate space, and I use a lot of social media to put out what we do. You understand? To create engagement and get to push out information to your followers and all. All right. So there is no business in this world today that does not use social media. I believe your own company here, your media company here, you have social media pages, and you encourage people to follow. You understand? So it's a good tool if you use it wisely. But if you also don't use it wisely, it can mar you, because you waste a lot of time on social media. You compare yourself with people, and then it leads to depression, it leads to anxiety, mental disorder, and a lot of things. There are so many things that can happen, but it all depends on how you use it. Yeah.
Okay, so how can youths, we are youths, and most times we might not really know what we are doing for life, we are just following the trends. How can we strike a balance between using it as a tool, like you said, and for growth, while avoiding its negative impact? Because like you said also, it has both positive and it has pros and cons. So how can we strike a balance on this?
Okay, like everything in this world, too much of everything is bad.
It's not good.
You understand? Too much of everything is bad. Social media, the goal for the creators, like people that the Mark Zuckerberg and the likes, the Elon Musk, and they want to make money. That's number one. And the easiest way to grab people's attention is to entertain them.
People,
You understand? And I think history has it that sports started from the Roman Empire during the reign of the gladiators and the likes. You understand? So it's a way of capturing people's attention. All right. So social media is also mimicking the same thing. They capture your attention and they tend to retain your attention. All right. So you have to decide what you want to do, why you want to use social media. Then you give yourself a target of how much time you want to spend on social media.
Yes. I think I even have that on my phone. I have a limited time. My phone just tells me, oh, your screen time is up.
Most phones now has where you can set it up that from social time it should not allow you to use. There are a lot of apps also that you can use. All right, to limit how much of social media you use. But at the end of the day, if you are a producer, if you are a creator, I think it's better for you to become a creator than to be a consumer. All right, because through creating, you can give out information, you can help people, and do a lot of good with social media than just watching and swiping endlessly on social media.
Making people make money, because people are making money.
Yeah, others are making money off you at the end of the day.
Okay, so you heard that from Abba. Try to strike a balance. If you're a creator, make sure you engage on people who are going to teach you, who are going to enlighten you, who are going to give you intriguing content on how to, expand your initiative, your intellectuals, and have a screen time. Don't be on social media every time. Social media is a facade. Don't let it make you feel pressured about yourself or make you feel like you're not doing enough for yourself. Strike a balance for it. Have a time. There is time for everything. Even in the Bible, Ecclesiastes here, there is time for everything under the sun. So don't let social media take all of you and push you to start doing things that you might not believe that you're doing. And that is that.
And sometimes you may have to delete some apps.
Delete the apps that are not helping you or that are not, putting your life together. Just delete them, do away with them. Engage on posts that are necessary for your well-being. Okay? Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for enlightening us on social media today. Please do not stop clicking and do not stop watching Youth Hub, because we always bring you the things that the youths need to hear these days. Okay? Thank you very much. I'm still your host, Hosanna Okrafo. Bye for now.
Bye.